For my final research presentation, I decided to look into food metaphors in music. Not only was I looking at food words used as metaphors, I was also looking at sexual metaphors in music using food words. My aim and justification was that I chose this topic because I realized I never put too much thought into food metaphors before this class, let alone thinking about the lyrics I was listening to. By doing this research, I'm trying to see if there's any correlation between the gender of artists or genre of music and the types of food metaphors being used. For my literature review, I decided to use 3 of the articles provided to us in Blackboard. I have 3 research questions. The first one being which genre of music uses the most food metaphors? Do female or male singers use more food metaphors? And how often are food metaphors used for either the genitalia or sexual activity? My hypothesis is that I hypothesize that male rappers will use more food metaphors to describe the genitalia rather than sexual activity. The subjects I will be using for this study are the artists of the different songs I have chosen for my research. The sources are the lyrics from each song. The materials included are artists I mentioned earlier in the literature review, and also many lyric websites used to look up the lyrics of each song. The instruments I will use is a chart of each song. The chart will include the following: genre of music, if the artist is male or female, if the food metaphor being used is used for genitalia or sexual activity. As you can see, this is the chart that I had just talked about. My 6 categories are the song title, genre, food word, male/female, genitalia, or sexual activity. In the first one, Keep On Keeping On, it's an R&B rap song. The food word being used is supper, which is talking about genitalia. The female artist in this song is talking about a male coming for supper, but she doesn't actually mean supper on a dinner table. As you can see in some of them, I've chose both genitalia and sexual activity. The Lemon Song is a rock song by Led Zeppelin. The food word being used in that is a lemon. He talks about squeezing the lemon, which his lemon stands for the genitalia, and squeezing it stands for the sexual activity. As you can see, there are more on this page that I chose both of them. Birthday Cake is an R&B song by Rihanna, talking about cake and icing. Cake is used as being known for the genitalia, and she talks about licking the icing off, which could be a sexual activity. Same with Candy Shop, talking about a lollipop. This song is by 50 Cent, who is an R&B and rap artist. He talks about the lollipop as being his genitalia, and the action would be the sexual activity. And that goes for the same as the last one, using the same word, lollipop, by a rapper named Lil Wayne. The type of data I used for this is the qualitative data. I chose to just study the songs and their lyrics. I could have went into detail about the numbers and statistics, like 41% female or 59% male, but I didn't see how that would be able to benefit this research, because I found that there was no correlation. This type of data could only be observed, not measured. I had some limitations of this study, where many songs that I found using words such as honey or sugar were the more purpose of endearment. While I could have talked about endearment words, my study was more focusing on sexual activities and genitalia. This made it difficult to find country songs because a lot of those songs use honey and sugar as words for endearment. The results that I found was that my hypothesis was incorrect. I found that there is no correlation between male or female using more food metaphors in music. There is no correlation between the genre of music either. As you could tell from my table, I had rock, blues, R&B, pop, different kinds of music. The conclusion I came to is that it's very common for artists to use food metaphors for sexual meanings in their music. whether it be to describe the genitalia or sexual act. One important thing that I did notice, although there isn't a correlation between the gender or genre of music, there is a correlation between women as sweet food or dessert. As I mentioned earlier, how Rihanna was talking about birthday cake and icing, or 50 Cent and Lil Wayne about lollipops. Once talking about the women, it seems to be a habit of talking about sweet foods.